Okay, valve adjustment. Very critical. What we want to do is we have a hydraulic lash set up here, and what we want to do is we want to get the piston at top dead center where both of the valves are closed, or we're opposite the lobe of the camshaft. So right now these two lifters on this cylinder are sitting on the base circle of the cam opposite the lobe. And of course we got our rocker arm and our push rod set up here. But right now what we have is we have what we call lash. This is lash. Lash is up and down movement of that push rod. The way to correctly adjust a hydraulic lifter is we have to get rid of this lash. This slop or this play in here, that has to go away. So what we're going to do is we're going to take and we're going to adjust that so that the lash disappears. And once the lash disappears, then we're going to go down a little further. In this case we're going to go 1/4 of a turn. Some engines you got to go 1/2 turn or 3/4. It just depends on the specs of the manufacturer. But we're going to go 1/4 turn because that's where I like to adjust these. So we've got an adjuster here. This adjuster has a lock bolt on it. You may be using just a regular rocker nut that is self-locking. Either way, there is always a way to lock that into place. So what we're going to do is we're going to run this down until we get rid of the lash. So we've got this lash here. You can see that thing is moving like crazy. So we're just going to run this down until we get rid of that. And it's actually pretty easy with this style of hold down to get rid of that lash. A little bit more. Now we have just gotten rid of that lash. So there's no lash, but we still have to go 1/4 of a turn. So we're actually going to go 1/4 of a turn. Now we are in the plunger of our lifter. We don't have any lash here. If I grab this push rod, I have no movement whatsoever, but I can see that my plunger and my push rod is actually moving. So I'm in the travel of that plunger. Then I simply take my lock nut and I lock it into place. And once I lock that into place, that rocker is now adjusted. The one thing you got to remember is you got to make sure that you are on top dead center compression stroke, not exhaust stroke, to do this. You're going to go through, you're going to put every piston at top dead center, and you're going to adjust the valves just like that.